much. We're here just coming up out of the subway at LaSalle. We're going to be a couple of blocks north of the Ideal Org in Chicago at 650 South Clark Street. This weekend is Lollapalooza. So there's a lot of foot traffic down here in the city. A lot of people in interesting outfits. It's an opportune time for the cult to be out attempting to recruit. And I want to see what I can do to frustrate their efforts. If you're on the replay, thank you very much. Please leave a comment, help that algorithm out. If you think that somebody else might get value out of this, please share the video. Howdy, JBat. If you're here in the live, smash the like. Let's get the awareness out there. I think there'll be a couple of other protesters out here today. I've been in contact with a couple. So we should have some additional folks out. Might make it easier for me to actually track down flyers. We'll see what happens. Howdy, Tuki. Good to have you in here. Yesterday, I thought we had a good interaction with the one guy that came out, right? He was unaware that the building he was in was Scientology. And I've told you before that the thing that I dislike most about Scientology are its deceptive practices, that they're so ashamed of their organization, they don't want to tell people that they're Scientology, right? They want to give them all the other BS, right? We're for human rights. Now, if you look up what our human rights says, you'll find out that we're really against psychiatry and people getting the mental help that they need in the world. So, sorry, fellow in front of me, he's got a beatbox going, so I want to give him some distance. Just want to look down the alley real quick. Yeah, there's nothing going on back here. Then we'll head up to the front door. If the other protesters have been here, we probably won't have an opportunity to close those blinds, but regardless, we're going to make sure that their retail space is closed. But again, you'll get a flyer out there on the street, and it'll be hard to figure out, if at all, that it's Scientology. It will give you the address, and this building says Scientology right on the front, but if you're walking down this sidewalk, what's going to make you look up to the second floor and see that Scientology sign? So it makes perfectly good sense how somebody could walk in here and have no understanding that it's Scientology. Unfortunately, he did buy a book. He probably gave a name and address. That'll be a sad awakening for him. But he did take my card, and he thanked me for giving him the information. He did seem fully surprised that he had walked into Scientology. We're going native today. Sorry. Let me rephrase that. We're doing YouTube native today. I want to be able to have a little bit more control over the screen size. I can see a Scientologist coming up the street right now. It's the older woman in white hair. She'll say hi to me. Oh, this is interesting. There's a table right here with the Dianetics books set up. So they're probably anticipating a lot of people here today. Yeah, I see you can see there's a reception sign sitting right here. This aisle is empty. There's nobody sitting in any of the media banks here. And here we've got a newer young male. I don't recognize this guy. The cafeteria, we've got what? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This guy, you know what? I have not seen him since the opening days. I was just going through the old video because I want to start stacking up here's all the people at the org and show you first appearances of this. But, right, so we've got Blind Tech coming down. Does the church let you say anything positive about the church? So they did kind of a poor job so far, right? Now they've got the tag team coming here, bringing the blinds down. Isn't it strange that this church has to hide from the public? Maybe it's not a church, maybe it's a cult. We've seen her several times. Generally, she's very nice. She'll say hello to me if I say hello to her. Okay, so we've got the retail. Howdy, Elron. Elron Pantsifier. Okay, so we've got the blinds down. 1 second. So the people across the street asked me a question. I gotta wait for the traffic. I always want to take the opportunity to educate people when they ask. Hey guys, are you guys okay being on film?
Yeah, what's the deal? What's the deal?
So do you know who they are?
We've heard about Scientology.
Okay, so it is Scientology, and they have some interesting beliefs. They believe that millions of years ago in a galaxy far away, that their overlord, Xenu, rounded up all the bad Thetans, brought them to the Earth, put them in volcanoes, blew them up with, they were frozen when they came, blew them up with hydrogen bombs. So I'll say that they have a goofy fantasy, but many people will say Judeo-Christian religions are fanciful, right? Yeah. I don't care about that part. Now the part that's interesting, if you go in there, nothing is free. You pay for everything you do in there, so it's really just a money scheme. So financially, it's just stupidly crazy. Yeah. Now we'll talk about the abuses. They have child abuse, human trafficking. You'll see many of the people there have foreign accents. They come over on religious visas. Their passports are taken from them. They never had that before. Now they have to work for them for life. There have been many people who have died at their hands because of mental abuse. So Lisa McPherson is probably the most well-known. She had a mental break. She was checked into a hospital by the ambulance EMT. Scientology came and got her out of the hospital, chained her up in a room. 17 days later, she went into crisis. They tried to get her back to the hospital. She was dead on arrival. They have something called auditing in this church. And it's sort of like confession if you were listening to Catholic Church. They'll have a young person, 14 years old, and that person has to listen to the adult that comes into the room to confess or tell their auditing. They can tell them the most perverse things in the world, and the child can't leave. So you're telling a child about your fantasies and also your actions. So when you admit to a bad action in this church, they'll immediately take you and they'll move you out of jurisdiction. So they'll move you back to a home country, they'll move you out of the way so that you can't be prosecuted for that crime. Other than that, lovely group of people, right?
So I just thought it was so interesting because we've been here all day and like, I was like, were those doors like foggy at all? And the second you came around,
everything comes down.
Glass on, shades all down, and
yep.
It's like they're so.
They've been coming out in the suits all day.
It's
yep.
so secretive.
They're gonna pass off. I'm gonna hand you something. So I told you about Lisa McPherson. That's the person on the top. These are other crimes and just a short list of them. If you go to that scan code, you'll see a blog post. And then Xenu.net is going to give you a lot of information about the church itself. So if you want to take that.
That's spooky. Oh my God.
And yeah, one of the reasons that I come out here is that they're going to come out of this building, and especially with Lala going on, they have these flyers. I don't have any with me, but they're going to hand out flyers, whether it's Dianetics or they have a bunch of front groups. Way to Happiness, CCHR, which is a human rights group, but in human rights, what they mean is that we don't agree with psychiatry and we don't agree with psychedelic drugs. So we don't think that you can treat mental deficiencies with drugs, although scientifically. Yeah. So I want to make sure that people don't fall prey to it, because if you go in there, and by the way, you can go in there, at the lowest level, it seems like such an innocuous, oh, we're here to save the world. And who doesn't want to save the world, right? And then all of a sudden you start doing these creepy things like, what do you mean I can't tell other people the truth? Like, one of the things that I love asking them is, will the church let you talk to me? Yeah. And the answer is no. And it's like, well, doesn't that sound culty if you're not allowed to talk to me in this space? So it's just a really dangerous, to me, it's a very dangerous organization, and I don't want them getting a foothold in this organization. The moment, yep. Everybody down, doors closed, right?
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah, we appreciate you coming over.
Excellent. You can see here's a uniformed member down here, and the two people that are with them, they're going to be Publix. So he is getting paid a really small amount of money, probably less than $50 a week. He might have another job, but he's got to be here for 40 hours a week. The two people that he's helping are probably Publix. And what that means is people that pay to take service here. And yeah, nice. There are a lot of well-to-do people in this. They're very well-to-do. Nancy Cartwright from Bart Simpson, she's one of the biggest donors. Tom Cruise, big donor. Danny Masterson, right? Danny Masterson in jail for 30 years to life. He sexually abused 3 women in this church. When those women came forward, the church disconnected them. He is still a member in good standing of the church.
That's
So,
spooky.
yeah.
We were just like, what the heck is going on? Because immediately, the second you came over there, switch glass was on, shades were down, and they were like, do you come over here a lot?
I work in the area, so as often as I can, because I just don't want them to be able to hand off these flyers.
Yeah.
So,
Hi, Indigo.
how you doing? Very nice to meet you,
meet
Indigo.
you.
Great to see you. Just another protester, somebody who really wants to go against them. So they asked me why I came over. Yeah, so I'll give it, it's on that card, but I'll give you each a card, yeah.
Yeah, he's Windy City State Watch.
So the very bottom, right, of that side is Windy City Fate and Watch.
Thank you.
And there you go.
Yeah, we'll take a look. Yeah,
No problem.
Sure.
Thank you so much, I appreciate it.
I like it. Thank you.
Share it with anybody you can. And again, one of the things that's most troublesome is this dormitory is now changed to freshmen only. So every year there's no, you don't have the students from last semester being able to teach them anymore, right? So now it's every single time I've got to come and educate them on, by the way, here's the dangers of your next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Right. So,
And they'll leave their flyers like in restaurants and like
Yep.
really try to get more people to come in. They get a lot of people who are like from other countries that come here, and then they've started printing a bunch of their stuff in Spanish to try to like get to that community. So.
Crazy. Thank you so much.
no problem.
Appreciate
Thank you.
your time
I appreciate
today.
your interest.
Yeah.
Thanks.
You for coming over.
Thanks. You want to head back over that way?
Yeah.
All right.
Good luck, guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
How are you? Great
I'm
to see you.
good. I actually got some stuff for you. 'Cause,
Okay.
I became Carol, and
Okay.
they just let me in. So
Nice.
got
I
some
did
stuff.
see that you had some. So one's going to be the floor plan, right? And
I
then
did, yeah, I got the floor plan.
The Way to
and
Happiness
The Way
DVD.
to Happiness and the Dianetics DVD.
that is awesome. I really appreciate that.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I
Can you
wasn't
do me a favor?
recording.
Can you hold this for just 1 second?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Got it?
Got it. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to just put these in my. Oh, the Dianetics one. I don't think I have the Dianetics one.
This beautiful architecture is a shame that it's in Scientology's hands.
Correct. Now, the good news
Hi,
is.
Windy City, Miss Indigo.
So, oh, let me put this back on here.
Is this the gimbal that you guys always talk about? now?
Yeah. So what happens right now, you saw that you can kind of do whatever you want to here, and it keeps that very stable.
Yeah.
Folks, I'm going to come right back to the chat. You know that I wanted to engage with those people. They were asking questions. Maybe you guys had some questions. I'll go back through the chat, and I'll look at that as well. Are you okay being on in front of the camera?
I've
Okay.
been on camera before, yeah.
No problem.
You're good.
So we do have another guest protester out today. This is Indigo. Indigo.
I've got my face.
Oh, nice. I need to figure out who can do crochet so I can get Thetans. Winston and who?
Winona.
Winston
Yeah.
and Winona. Very, very nice.
Don't give me the side eye to Scientology.
Yes, that is awesome. All right, so as we look here, the Scientology sign, we've got the shades closed up there. Hopefully you heard the conversation that we were having with them. I didn't pull the mic out. I was stupid. I was trying to engage with the people. But that they had mentioned that, wow, as soon as you came up, all the shades came down, right? And that's really why I come here so much. So I do think that we will see two other
Corn
people.
is coming out, right? Yeah. Corn's coming. And I actually talked to the receptionist. He's a Mormon.
I
The
did
guy
not know
who
that.
does the reception desk.
Now, that guy is rather new to me. I don't recognize
He's a very
him.
young man. I
Yep.
would say probably early 20s.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I was born in, and I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I kind of like heard about Scientology randomly, and I kind of just played dumb.
Did they let you? How much did they let you see?
Just the bottom floor.
Okay.
But like, so all the desks back there, the old guy with the silver hair,
Yep.
his name is Dave.
Excellent.
So I
Okay,
got his name.
that is
I
helpful.
really forgot the receptionist's name. But yeah.
Love it. Anything positive to share about the church? Is there just nothing positive about your cult?
Yeah, but Dave, the silver hair guy, said he got it because his coworker told him about the Dianetics.
Yeah,
He's
so
got to be in his 70s, I would like. I mean, I don't know, not that
Just-
white hair,
he- yeah, he
obviously,
does-
but he looks
he doesn't look like a
older.
fresh out of college.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. The Thetans were popular, but they were like, oh, what are those? And I'm like, oh, they're just little like teddy bears that I carry with me because I didn't want them to know I knew anything about Scientology. So,
So
But
can
I
you guys
wrote my
hear?
name
Can you
in-
guys hear Indigo? I've got the mic pointed towards her, so hopefully you're hearing that.
oh yeah, I also went in and wrote down my name is Carol Birch, but then I
Nice.
wrote the phone number and address for the FBI Chicago office.
That is awesome.
I didn't want to put my actual name.
That is great that you have that. That's very clever thinking. I like it.
I know Juanita's coming as well.
Yes.
The one with the big receipt sign that has all the names of the people who
Absolutely.
have passed away in Scientology.
Juanita is just, again, I think highly of everybody who comes out here to protest. Juanita just has the energy of a young 21-year-old bull,
I know, I'm
right?
like, where did you get this energy? Please give me some.
And her generosity. The other one is that both her and Nance can speak Spanish very fluently. So in places where I struggle with some of the people,
They have a lot of their stuff in Spanish now.
Yep.
I should have kept the Spanish DVD and I grabbed it by accident.
Nice. I noticed that today there's a table right here inside the foyer, which is normally not there.
Yeah, I know. I was curious.
So
I was wondering if they have more out because of the festival.
I'm guessing yes. I think that there are probably a lot of people out there. And what I'll do is I'll stay around this area until Juanita and Corn show up. But I want to rove as much as possible because I very much feel that there are people out there passing out flyers right now.
Oh, 100%. Oh, they said gold is Chicago's color.
Oh, okay.
Blue is another order.
Gotcha. So these are, just more evidence that, there are people on loan in this organization. So the statement was gold is Chicago's color, but blue is, if you're seeing blue, you're seeing it from another order.
It's funny, I was in
Corn, you are not an ass.
I was in the Dunkin'
Yes.
watching your stream. I'm like, oh my god, he's finally here. So I ran out. Because before you came, it was so sunny, I was about to pass out from
Right.
the heat, so I had to go inside.
There are some advantages of coming after noon, but
Yeah, I know, for
what's
sure.
what's gonna happen is eventually the sun's gonna hit that building and it'll reflect back on us.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Well, they said that the floors 2 and up are for courses.
Yep.
And they did not confirm people are living here, but I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. Because I said, oh, do you do a tour of the higher floors? Because I was telling them, like, I'm really into architecture, and your grand staircase is supposed to be like, one
Right.
of the ones from the Art Deco period. And they were saying, oh yeah. I was like, oh, can I go take a picture of it? And they were like, not really. Like, we don't allow people up there that aren't like doing courses.
right. Now
Like, damn.
I'm comfortable that they don't have people residing here because I just see too many people coming out all the time, including like the janitorial staff or the custodial staff.
So the school registers as a school business, so they can have dorm rooms.
Okay.
But if you're registered as a business, you can't have residents at the same time.
Correct.
Like the zoning wouldn't allow it.
Yep.
Yeah, but I saw a bunch of freshmen going somewhere today, and I was like, oh man, they weren't from the U.S. either. So I'm like, that's the crowd I'm most worried about is people who come to study here.
Correct.
And they get drawn in.
Yeah, and again,
Usually.
it's a compelling early steps story, right? That you went in. Did you watch any of the monitors? Did they talk to you? Did they interview you? Did they answer questions?
Yeah, so I was kind of, because I was not saying my real name, obviously. So they were like, oh, fill out this welcome piece of paper that's
Right.
like, how did you hear about us? Do you watch our network? Do you blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. kind of just trying to ask people, and they're like, how did you hear about Scientology? I got a mix of answers. Some were brought in by other people, some were born in, some were, I guess, just regular people who got drawn in. So, but yeah, so they were trying a little bit to ask more questions, but I was sort of being like, oh, well, I'm new to this, and I don't really know anything, you know, so.
Yep. No, that's awesome. I love that.
Because I figured if I did go in, I would have to have a fake address and phone number to give.
At the ready,
I don't have
yes.
a second phone right now. Like, once I'm able to get a second phone, I'll live stream and stuff. But
Yep.
I only have my personal phone right now.
Gotcha.
So, yeah.
It's awesome to have Indigo-Twin down here. Declared Dave says hi. Several people have said hi.
Hello.
Marina.
Chit-chat. Oh, by the way, I'm in your chat under my actual name right
Okay,
now. So
gotcha.
I'm not actually going to say what my actual name is.
Yes. Okay.
I've seen a lot of the people in the red shirts with the
Just the Dianetics t-shirt.
Dianetics t-shirt. Are those the body routers? That
More
they send
often than
out
not,
with the
they
red
are.
shirt?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't mean that. Sometimes, like, Chad doesn't body route that much, but he wears the red t-shirt a lot.
Oh, gotcha.
Now, what they might be is people that will then, so you've got the people that are supposed to bring people to the door, and then you've got a different job title, which is once somebody comes in that door, they're supposed to bring them around to the desk. So
Yeah.
sometimes they're wearing the Dianetics as well.
That makes sense, yeah.
Hey, Corn, how long until you guys head over here? Corn and Juanita.
I'm more than happy to rove with you, too.
One thing that I
Like,
really
you
like
feel
about having,
happy, I
oh,
guess.
absolutely, no, 100%, love it.
Well, that's what
I
I'm
want
saying
people to
is,
get
like,
comfortable.
here-
I want people to get comfortable that
Like, the
how easy it
reason
is.
I don't stream right now is A, I don't have a good thing to stream on.
Right.
My phone's kind of crap. B, if they get snippy with people, and my worry is, like, they might not aggress you because you're a guy,
You're
but
absolutely
they'll
correct.
interpret me as someone they can be aggressive with, which
Yep.
is not the case, but it's like one of those things where I'm like, I've seen how they are in LA. I've seen how they are in general.
So you can see that they won't administer their rules equally. That there'll be no issue here, I guess. That I definitely noticed that they were much more aggressive, and they would always try to intimidate Nance, Corn, Juanita. And I'm not trying to tell you that I'm some great person, but to your point, I am a male, and as as much as everybody's equal, yeah, I would say that there's a difference between how males are perceived and get treated in this scenario. So, all right, let me see what we've got here in the chat that I missed earlier. Thanks, James, for the sound check. Appreciate that. Yeah, hopefully, and it sounds like you guys were able to hear the conversation that I had with the three students. Well, I don't know if they were students or not, but the three people across the street. Tell you what, want to take a quick? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Yep. I think we'll take a quick tour around, real quick. Let's go. We'll look in the back, and then I want to go over to Dearborn Street.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There we are.
Nice. Oh, you're going to get frustrated because you're going to be about like 10 seconds behind us.
No, I am, yeah. I'm going to close it right now because
Yeah.
my phone is not
Right.
great for battery.
Understood. Sorry about that. Oh, what was I going to say? Yeah, I just kind of want to take a run past Dearborn to see if there's anybody out there. I need to get as far as Michigan today because of with Lala going on.
Oh, 100%. I wouldn't be
That-
surprised if they were hitting up the
Yeah.
festival.
Now, I don't think that they would spend the money to go in. It's probably just too cost prohibitive for the most part. But
Well,
I'm
yeah,
sure
you
they're
have to
hanging
buy
around the gates.
wristband and then
Yeah.
Are you doing it 3 days or 2 days or 1 day?
Right.
I don't really need this. I'm not by the org anymore.
Yeah, Jen, I definitely appreciate that. If you can check to see when the other move-in days are. And I'm going to encourage anybody that's here in the Chicagoland area, come and see us, right? Come and if you're going to see how easy it is to really disrupt them from being able to pass out their propaganda if we run into the body routers today. And it's just as easy when you're at a table, right? If you're at a table, they're stationary, so they can't even move away from you. That's one of the great things about catching them at a table is they don't have mobility. When I'm following them, they can lure me all over the city. But if we're just talking about the table itself, right? There's no way that, well, it's very challenging for them to get out of the line of sight. Yeah, we're not seeing too much activity back here right now, so we'll go over to Dearborn. Are you familiar with the streets, or?
A little bit,
Okay.
yeah. My sister used to live in the South Loop.
Nice.
This area was Printers Row.
Yep.
I did just a lot of research on the buildings recently because I'm going to do more of a historical aspect on the building because we know that eventually they'll just stop taking care of it.
Correct. Now, the one thing that we kind of have in our advantage is that it is a declared landmark. So
Exactly.
as
So
they
if
do
they
allow
don't-
things to denigrate, then
That was my angle
Yeah.
exactly. Is I know that it's a landmark building because Printers Row was a pretty big deal, especially up through the 80s. A lot of these were converted from, the apartments were converted from print houses.
correct. Yeah. That there would have been no residences in this neighborhood when Printers Row was full steam, the actual printing row.
Exactly, yeah. And like, I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow got their fingers into the whole book fair that they do every year. And
100%.
get their dumb books disseminated in the city.
Correct.
Yeah, they tried to be like, oh, do you know who L. Ron Hubbard is? And I was like, no, I think he's science fiction, right?
Did they respond to that?
Yeah, they said, or he said the front desk guy whose name I forgot.
One second, I'm gonna see if we can get around. This fella's not happy that we're walking around, or that he's walking around today. Sorry. So did they respond to the idea that?
He responded. He was like, "Oh yeah, no, he wrote those books because he was trying to like research Dianetics," and I was like, "Oh, mental health, right? Modern mental health." Because we know he didn't know anything about mental health.
Correct. And I do like the idea that writing science fiction is a research method for becoming a psychiatric profession or a mental professional.
Right? Man, shoot, that's all I gotta do. Dang, I don't need that master's program.
Right.
Dang. Could have saved so much money.
All right. Let's.
I love the city so much. That's another worry is.
It is. So sure, that was an old. That's an old printing press. Would have been early 19-teens. That would have been built, and it would have been in use, right? And back in the day.
It started with the single letter.
Yeah.
Ink cubes.
Movable. Yep. The movable type. Howdy, Charka Joy. Great seeing you. Folks, when I'm on, so we're walking the neighborhood with Indigo right now. Just a little bit of a reminder, and I apologize, but when I do, I get the advantage of the camera that I can change the camera focus when I'm doing it native, but I will miss a lot of comments. So please understand that I care about all the comments. I just can't see them all the time. So this park, I'm sure you've seen me talk about it, right? That you've got the movable print blocks as the benches, or the park benches in this park.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then that next building after this.
And especially the building they chose is one of the last Art Deco facades that's still intact.
Right.
Because the city had trouble taking care of all the facades, so there was a time where they just removed them all.
Yep.
Which is really sad architecturally, but Yeah, it is a landmark building, so we got to keep our eye on how well it's being taken care of.
100% agree.
Because you can get them on that legally. If they fall behind and not doing what they need to maintain it, they can actually revoke them and kick them out.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Now,
Because they have to maintain the facade and the original work that's inside the building as long as they're a resident of the building.
gotcha.
That's the rules for landmark. Like a theater near my hometown recently got landmark status, but they had to put it back like it used to look in the 1920s.
Very nice.
So it is a lot of work that goes into maintaining all of these old buildings.
So the bookstore that we just went past has an awful lot of first editions or special print books in that store, and that used to be an illustration house. So back in the day when the first letter of the paragraph would have the nice artsy lettering,
Exactly.
but also the graphical illustrations would have been in there as well.
My bachelor's degree is in literature and creative writing.
Nice.
So I have a huge interest in old printing, and like a lot of people don't know, Remington used to make typewriters.
Yep.
Obviously, they're known for guns.
Now they have the bang bang, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, the bang bang, sorry.
No problem. But yeah, there's a couple of old mechanical elements like that. And to get your hands, let's go one more over to State Street.
Oh yeah.
I don't think we'll see anybody.
I wore my hat, I put on sunscreen, which won't mean anything because look, I'm a ghost. I'm transparent, ghost, or lobster. Yes. Those are my 3 shades.
I will say that you do not have the look of a Mediterranean-born.
Not at all. White as white comes. Scandinavian for sure.
Yeah.
At least 75%.
Nice. Go Vikings.
Yes. That shade is nice.
Yes.
Yeah, my sister used to live off State Street.
Very
Actually, in the apartments, condos, and then when she had her kids, she moved from there because it was only a 2-bedroom, and she has 4 kids now. So.
Yeah. Now this sign here that's in the, it's a Christian sign. Fundamentalist Christian. I would say it's kind of a shady little branch of Christianity. That they're I'll say, they're really just trying to be booksellers or extort you through bookselling. And they're over on Dearborn Street. But I was really worried the first time I saw those signs out in front of Scientology. It's like, oh, Scientology has new signs. It's like, no, somebody's advertising in front of Scientology for a different religious
I was looking around, and there's not so much by the actual building, but there are blank benches that you can take ads out on.
Ah.
And I was thinking if people or foundations wanted to, they could call
I like
up
that
and
idea.
take ads out.
Let's get you some
People
shade
know
for a bit.
what they were like, yeah.
Excellent. So Corn just went live.
Oh, she's there?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if she's there, but she just went live, so she might be walking that way.
Yeah, I friended a few people from the community on Facebook.
Very
under
nice.
the
Pseudonym, yeah.
under my actual name, because that's what my Facebook is under. But I was like, if I put a mask on and use a different name and address, I'm pretty safe.
Right.
Because I think, like, if I use my real name, that could get to my sister. I don't want creepy Scientology up in my family.
That is always the concern, right? That they're going to try to exploit any weakness they can. And I think similar to what we saw with...
if they took the bait and called the FBI office
I would like that.
times,
Yes.
wouldn't it be great?
I would like that. Yeah, you'll come off the list very quickly.
They'll be like, screw Carroll Beach.
Yes.
Sorry to any Carroll Beaches out there. It was the only name I could think of when I was in the order.
Nice. The old Dr. Detroit.
Right? Well, the other thing, too, is there's not just this, the college there. Like 4 or 5 blocks away, there's like a high school, like a secondary school.
Right.
That's what I'm worried about, is if they get routers over there,
Yeah.
to try to hand stuff out.
And that's what this is, right? And we caught them doing Way to Happiness on the graduation day of Jones College. So Jones College Prep is a high school. And on their graduation day, that's when I caught the 2 Eastern European women, and followed them for.
Oh yeah, Winston is still secure. Just checking on my
Yes. So Red Bull is doing some advertising for Lollapalooza, 2 blocks away from Lollapalooza. Wonder how many people that sign brings in.
I think there's rules for food trucks and beverage trucks unless you're with a specific event.
Right.
You have to be enough square feet away from another restaurant. It was a law Chicago passed like in 2012.
Yeah.
And it made a lot of food trucks angry because they're like, that's all that Chicago streets are, right?
Correct.
And yeah, some of the best food is from food trucks.
I agree with that. I like what you're getting from a food truck very often. When Mindy was in town, we did the food truck.
Oh, that's awesome.
And
Hopefully
they do them next to the Art Institute for almost that reason, right? That they're far enough away from restaurants, but they've also got license. They've just asked the city to make this a food truck zone.
And that would be so helpful too, because it's a lot of ethnic food is the best out of trucks. Because it's from people who are from that country. It's not Americanized versions of it.
Right.
Like Mexican food I like is probably Americanized the heck out of.
Yes.
Rather than authentic. The best enchiladas I had was on a mission trip in high school. We went to help build an outbuilding at a church, and the pastor's wife made homemade tamales for everyone.
Nice.
Oh my God, they were so good.
All right, folks. Let me see if we got a fire truck coming down here. Nance taught me how to do mutes. Let me see if I can figure out. Oh. So that fire truck went down Clark Street. So it's going to run past the org.
It's funny, I came out of the Dunkin' and I was like, oh, Wendy's here. The blinds are down. The doors are closed. Because then I got here at 11, they were open.
Yep.
I was like, oh, the protesters have arrived.
I like that you went inside, but what I'd love for you one day to do is just hold your phone up. If you ever come here,
Yeah.
just hold your phone up to that window, and you'll notice that they're going to come out and they're going to scramble to close those shades. You don't have to be recording. You don't have to be. They don't know you're not recording, but they're just afraid of anybody recording in that space.
And since we're a two-party state, you gotta be careful.
If
the only reason I didn't try to record like what I was watching on the TV.
Definitely dangerous indoors, but outdoors, especially when you're if you're holding the phone, if the phone is in visible sight, there is no expectation of privacy, and even if the phone's not in invisible sight, in public there is no expectation of privacy. So just let that be a warning to all. If you guys are criminal villains, don't sit on a park bench explaining what your plans are.
Yeah. Got any crims here? Just kidding.
Yeah. No. Oh, I'm sure we have criminals here.
I mean,
Hopefully
they're very
reformed.
godly.
Hopefully
I'm a
they're
big
very
fan
well
of Mr.
reformed.
Squirrel.
But yes. Yes.
And that's the thing though, right? They don't care how old you are. They don't care that you're sick. They'll take advantage of it. That's what gets me the most angry, was reading all these stories about people with cancer
Right.
being squirreled away from actual doctors and told they should just take lethal doses of niacin to cure their cancer.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I do think that they will. You're right. That they have no vested interest in trying to help people with a long-term cure. Many cancer therapies are rather expensive, so there's
Or
no
the
way in the world that
surgeries,
there's no way in the world that the church wants to foot that bill.
No.
Most of them are going to be on. They're going to try to get them on Medicare or Medicaid,
one thing to kind of have a snake oil approach to medicine. It's
Right.
another to like physically prevent people from getting actual help.
Correct. So this is the Scientologist ahead of us, the redhead that's coming towards us. She might go down the alley. She doesn't like going past the camera. I'm not sure if she sees me yet. Yeah, so right, she went down the alley.
She did. She was like, oh no. Should have brought my parasol and burning even with the suntan lotion.
Yeah, we'll get you back into the shade.
That's the other thing is, Alex just said, Apostate Alex just posted that he has proof they're putting kids through the purif.
Oh yeah,
Like
they absolutely are.
under teenagers, like
Yeah.
children, which is infuriating and so dangerous.
They don't hide that fact. There are people on Purif here, right? That we know that they're taking Purif here. We saw them take Purif up in Lakeview. The purification center here is downstairs.
In their basement.
Yep.
Their creepy basement.
Yep.
So you don't need horror movies when you have a cold.
Absolutely correct.
Oh, that breeze thing.
Yes, that does feel nice, especially here in the shade.
Well, the other thing too is like there's a lot of people who just don't know.
100%. That I get frustrated when people think, well, doesn't everybody know about Scientology? And all of us
Guys,
watch
I
anti-Scientology all the
I
time.
didn't until almost a year ago. I'm less than a year into this.
Nice. Yep.
And it was really the children and the medical abuse that got me. And Laura's video when she saw her dad and he didn't even respond to her.
Yeah.
Just heartbreaking.
That's shameful. Yeah, that Bob Ferris, right? The idea that these people are being separated and Bob Ferris being claimed to be dead for such a period of time until accidentally shows up on film. And I know I keep on saying film. Deal with it, folks. So we've got Corn Freak here.
Oh yeah.
Just like you could use some Scientology in your life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A little bit more.
What's wrong with cults?
Ah.
What's wrong with cults?
Other than the fact they abuse children and traffic humans. Yeah, right. Why would that be a bad thing?
I have kids, never been abused.
Yep. So you're one of.
I'm done. Yeah.
You're one of.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm done.
Okay, that's nice. So this person is, his kids are okay, it's fine. But if other kids are being abused, that's fully acceptable, right? How you doing? Get a nice view of the fella. Hopefully you kind of heard what he said, right? What's wrong with cults? Right. Which, again, such a naive and ignorant statement to make. And his kids are safe, so why do we care about other kids? Just so everybody's clear, none of my kids are in this cult, but that doesn't mean that I'm okay with them being abused.
Do you have anything positive to say about your church? Does your church let you talk about the church?
Yes, folks, please make sure that you're over there on Cubs. You know, the other one, Carrie Ann is getting really close to 1,000 subs. So if you're not a subscriber to Carrie Ann, try to get over there, get her 1,000 subs so she can start doing advertising. We'll make Google and Scientology pay for their money, or pay for their channel. I think he's trying to get a mortgage out over here. Yeah, the Lakeview one is closed though. So if you go through the Lakeview, they painted over the sign, it's not there. That shortly after they came down here, I looked in their windows and there was just hefty bags full of trash just piled up inside that building. Anything positive to share about your church? Yeah, there's just nothing positive about the cult of Scientology? Yeah, I would love if somebody wanted to figure out who our friends there that think cults are okay, who that might be. Howdy,
Another
Corn.
person spawned from chat
Yes, yes.
in real life.
Love it.
I brought some materials that are disgusting to read today. Right from
Nice.
Xenu.net.
Would it be okay if I did not read your disgusting materials from Scientology?
It's but it's the security check questions for children, and then
Okay.
the security check questions that get like the L rundowns.
Right.
They are intense.
Oh, yeah.
And they are disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
So I thought people should know. And then I printed the OT8 where he talks about, you know, Christianity, and then I printed their beliefs on heaven and how he says, "I've been to heaven. We all have been." It's
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Next lap around. The next time we go to the implant station, right?
Yeah, the next time. But you know, so it contradicts itself. So it's either an implant that we were given to believe in Jesus, or oh my gosh, I'm lost. 'Cause my brain just
If you were in heaven, right?
Yes,
How could you have been in
how
heaven
can
if
there
it
be a
doesn't
real
exist?
Heaven if it's just an implant?
An implant.
What the hell is this guy talking about?
I agree.
Ugh.
All right. I'm going to take a lap over to Michigan Avenue.
Yes, sir.
You guys be okay here?
Oh yeah, when you
All
come
right.
back, I'll have an alien.
All right. Love it. Oh, and I get food, don't I? Do I get food today? Honey?
Yes, I have honey and a card for you.
Nice. I appreciate that. All right, folks. We're going to head over to Michigan Avenue. And on Michigan Avenue, you'll see the entrances, some of the entrances to Lollapalooza. I'm going to turn off my second mic for a little bit. Hey, remind me, although I won't be looking at the channel. Howdy, Scooter Mom. Welcome in. So far today, when we arrived here, the shades were open, the doors were open. Fairly quickly, they all hustled to close that. And as soon as they did that, there were 3 people having lunch across the street at First Draft. And they said, "Hey, what's going on over there?" So I went over to talk to them, and I explained to them, you know, "Hey, this is the Church of Scientology." They said, "Yeah, we kind of vaguely know what it is." But I was able to spend some time with them, explaining to them, right, the things that they do that are nefarious in this org. Sorry, I want to check and see. I'm gonna miss this light. But I was able to talk to them, gave all 3 of them a card. They were interested, intrigued. They will share the information out. Really appreciate that. Hope they had an enjoyable lunch, and I hope they learned something, right? And the dangers of the org. And then I was met by Indigo. Indigo, one of the people who view Scientology across many channels. So Indigo is very active in a lot of channels, so it was great to see her out here as well. We then did a little bit of a loop for both Dearborn and State Street. Didn't really see anybody out there. I am going to head over to the entrance of Lala, and I do think that we will see some t-shirts over there. Corn just went live as well, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to see Juanita today. Corn also brought us one of the channel subscribers. I was going to say grows honey, but I guess it was harvests honey. So I've got some honey coming from them. And then in the last 5 minutes or so, maybe it was 10 minutes ago, and we're actually following them. There's a couple, and while we were out in front, they were kind of spoofing on Korn, saying, "Oh, you look like you need Scientology," and then was saying, "What's wrong with cults? What's wrong with cults?" And by the way, I don't know anybody, minus somebody who's in a cult, that would say there's a positive attribute about cults. So it's rather obvious what's wrong with cults. Then we explained to him that, are you okay with human trafficking and child abuse? And he said, in here they do that? And I said, yes. And he goes, I have children. And I was like, okay, great. So with a data point of 1, your claim is that nobody abuses children in the world, right? I want to see if we can get over to Michigan Avenue. Now, I don't think that they'd be as audacious to set up a table here, because I think you'll need a permit, and I'm sure that Lollapalooza would be out here saying you can't set up on the streets. But I do think that we'll be able to find Scientology out here. When I walked up to the org, just inside the foyer, there was a table that had several Dianetics books set up, which is rather rare. That table is never there. So we're coming up on the couple that are okay with child abuse, as long as it's not their children. Yeah, James, my understanding is there's a trick to harvesting honey. Now, one thing that I'll be intrigued by is how loud the music's going to be at the venue, so that I don't have any copyright money restrictions.
Actually, there might be.
Now, I will say it's rather strange that you're stealing the bees' food. I can understand how they get upset with that. Now, again, I am not a beekeeper, but one thing that I think is that you're feeding them something else. So you're giving them other food. So as they stockpile the honey, you're just replacing that with other foods that bees like and humans don't.
And then I'm like, wait, I actually look here. That's not ideal.
So we're seeing a lot of people getting dropped off as close to possible with their wristbands. And then we're also seeing people selling and buying wristbands. Give you a little sharper view here. People dress up very fancifully for this event. Fancifully for this event. Slide us down just a little bit. I'll give you a wider focus. Not sure if you can see just yet, but there's a fence basically all the way around Grant Park, or at least the lower 2/3 of Grant Park. I don't think it goes north of Monroe. It probably doesn't even go up to the Art Institute. It probably goes to Jackson. But it is fairly secure in making sure that people can't get into the festival. Here we're coming past an exhibit at Columbia College. So this is part of their media center. This building on our right is the Museum of Contemporary Photography. And then along the wall, we see kind of their wall of fame of graduates. So I'm going to cross over. I'm kind of scanning up and down the street to see if I can find anything that stands out, obviously. It's probably a place where they're going to be migrating through the crowds. I will tell you that Chicago is going to be very, very busy today. All right, now we're scanning pretty heavily. Naturally, there's a heavy police presence here. Aren't. I'm kind of heading to what I believe to be like the southern end, which is this next block. And then I'll turn around and head north and see what these flyers are that people are handing out. I didn't recognize them as any of Scientology or the Scientology. So, yeah, thank you, J-Bat. And yeah, that siren gets pretty serious when it comes by, even though I have a directional mic. Sirens by design are built to get the attention of everybody around. And thank you, Nance Drew, for helping me figure out how to do that when you're on the YouTube native app. So I can hear a little bit of the stage. So I can hear music right now from one of the stages. But we're going to head north now along Michigan Avenue. You can see how tall that fence is there, right? So it's got to be 12 feet tall. And then they just hired day workers basically as security to keep people out of the festival that don't belong there, the fence jumpers. Folks, if you're just joining, we're over here on Michigan Avenue outside of Lollapalooza, the big musical festival in Chicago. It's an opportune moment for Scientology to be out here handing out flyers, and we're just trying to make sure that they're not.
It's hot out here. Use it as a fan.
Yep, how you doing?
Check it out.
So those were just new music festivals that they're advertising. Howdy. Yeah, it's again another music festival that they're advertising there. Here we're seeing the police staging area. I'm not going to go up this way because I think I get kind of locked in there. It should be one-way traffic. I have no intention of going into the festival. I do see a red T-shirt ahead of me, but again, you know, I'm going to be triggered by almost anything red at this point. And there will be plenty of people just wearing red T-shirts anyhow. So this looks like a box office exit. So the red t-shirt was Blink 182. Folks, yesterday we saw an awful lot of people at the org. So we got there at lunchtime. There were 18, 20 people inside the cafeteria, their own little cafeteria. We saw plenty more people that were staff members loading in. And all day long, there were publics, well, at least people in civilian clothing, most likely publics, that were coming into the org as well.
What they get?
Donuts.
So why the fuck they?
So here we're seeing the protective mechanisms. So these are barriers in case anybody was to come up there quickly with a vehicle. That yellow barrier will flip over very quickly and stop the vehicle, usually cold in its tracks. I'm looking over to this side of the street as well, just to see if I can find anybody over there. Again, I'll say I'm rather surprised that we're not seeing any Scientology presence right now. I would feel terrible for if they're fully suited out here. It's got to be, high 80s, low 90s today.
Vehicle 512.
Look at all the people crossing the street there right now. The other thing they might do is try to squat in the train stations, because a lot of these people are going to be coming in from the suburbs. So whether it's Union Station, Ogilvy, LaSalle, those also would be opportune spaces. I'll go check that out as well. Oh. Patrick, I like that. Yeah, that is fence jumping, the new pole vaulting. Although these are shorter fences, so still beyond my high jump and pole vaulting abilities. Folks, I've got my head on a swivel, kind of just looking right and left the whole time. I don't want to do that to you because I think that it'll cause most of you to get kind of dizzy. And I don't want to cause anybody those issues. Over here on the sunny side of the street, it feels about 3 degrees warmer than the sun. I'm going to head up to Monroe. Monroe is the next street. It's just past the Art Institute. And then I'll probably cross over and go down Jackson. See if I can make my way to the train station. Sounds good, Cher. Yeah, there are possibilities that I'm just getting my steps in today. It is the tactic that I understand and that I know and has been successful in the past to try to find people who are out here trying to paper my city with Scientology propaganda. My guess is there are plenty of people that are in the audience that are watching multiple channels. So if we find something, sure it'll be shared. Now here we're going across the Art Institute, and I'm going to go ahead and cross the street here. Oh, I can already feel shade. Here comes a parade of police. So there's your two Art Institute lions. And folks, it is definitely busy down here. Oh, the police are diverting the people, not allowing them to take the turn down Adams. Again, I'm looking for anybody with flyers in hands. When we get up here to Jackson, I'll go ahead and take the right-hand turn. Just saw a Ferrari station wagon go by. Hey folks, I've got another channel, Wendy Wanders the City. Oh, here's our Scientologist again. The two people, the couple that was down by the organization, I just passed by them. Wendy Wanders the City, it's really just me walking through neighborhoods, telling you what I know about those neighborhoods. We'll walk, we'll take one of the CTA lines, stop at several of the stops, showcase some of the restaurants and retail space.
Now I got it. That's bigger than mine.
Now we're heading down Jackson. Now, this is a residential area, so this is the Metropolitan Tower, and they're going in just to get cool. That's a key access residence right there on Michigan Avenue.
Around the kitchen table.
Okay, folks, we are seeing some interesting dress. So she has some clothing on. So we're on Jackson right now. This is a one-way street coming at me. We're going to go underneath Wabash right here. We're heading back towards the train station because, again, that's just going to be a place where a lot of people are coming in on train. That we might be able to find people taking advantage of the cluster of foot traffic. And Jackson is the most probable street that people, like if you get off the train at Union Station, Jackson, it's highly likely that either Jackson or Adams are the streets you're going to walk down in order to get to the lakefront or to Grant Park. This is a neat little alley. So there's a little coffee shop at the back end of this alley. Folks, you've heard me say it before that this is a college-rich environment. So we've got the DePaul bookstore here, and those are dormitories up above. We've got University of Illinois Chicago on the corner here with the red banners and bunting, and that used to be John Marshall Law. Now it's the law school for University of Chicago. I'm sorry, University of Illinois Chicago. Folks, the University of Chicago is incredibly different than the University of Illinois at Chicago. And if you don't believe me, try to try to tell somebody from the University of Chicago that they're just the same as UIC. The other day we had Mindy in town, and I will say Garrett's is the tourist popcorn place that you're supposed to go to. We did walk past this thinking we would be able to go to Clark on Nuts. Sorry, Nuts on Clark. But that has since closed. I'm going to keep on taking us down to Union Station, and then I will head back to the org. Still rather surprising that there aren't people out trying to body route or sidewalk recruiting, as we also will call it. Yes, there are nuts on the park and nuts in the park and nuts on Clark. It used to be up in Wrigleyville, or actually maybe just one neighborhood north of Wrigleyville on Clark Street is where the main roastery of Nuts on Clark was. I don't know if they're still there anymore. They've also got a shop in Union Station. And Nuts, by the way, if you're ever in Chicago, and you take a regional train out to one of the neighborhoods or one of the suburbs, you're allowed to drink beer on those trains. You can buy single cans of beer in the train station. And it's very common for people to grab a bag of nuts or a bag of popcorn and some beer. And they'll get in the same car with some of their friends, and they'll just have a little chat going home. Here we're seeing the federal buildings in Chicago, as well as the orange architecture there. I'll always forget the name of that, but usually somebody in the chat's going to remind us of that. Here we've got the Monadnock building. This was the first legitimate skyscraper, but it was an entirely masonry building. So the base of that building is incredibly wide compared to the top floors. And if you look at the windows on the retail level, they're very deep and recessed because the base needs to be so wide to support the weight of the rest of that building. Ha! I like this Nike sign. They didn't lose, they got a lesson. Yeah, Marina, we're getting a bit of a wander today. Since Corn and Indigo are here, I wanted to take advantage of being able to walk away from the org. This is basically Financial Row. We're looking north right now. Normally, you would look south, and you would see the dead end here of the Chicago Board of Trade. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit. This is a very common thing here. You can see a wedding party down there, unfortunately right in front of that black car, but people always want to take their wedding party picture this direction so that they can get that the picture of them in front of the financial building, but we're getting hosed on bad timing of traffic. So now hopefully you can see that we've got the couple in the middle of the street taking their wedding pictures. Going past the Federal Reserve. If you ever want to come down here, there is a little glass box in here that's got $1 million of cash shredded up. Here you're seeing, right, keeping track of counterfeits. U.S. currency is not made of paper, right? It's made of a linen. I'm pretty sure it's a free museum, so if you're ever in Chicago. Patrick, I hope I'm not talking to ghosts. If you've seen me before on Windy Wanders, you'll notice that we're coming to the boundary of the loop, right? So this is Wells Street, and above us you've got the elevated track there. Well, I hope they're good ghosts. You've got the elevated track up here. This Quincy station is a really old station. So if you ever get a chance to come through here and you've got time to kind of get off the train, by the way, as long as you stay on the platform, you can get off the train as often as you want to. It's only when you go through the turnstiles that you have to kind of re-trigger a ticket. But this is a very old school little ticketing station up here at Quincy. And now we're going to go past a couple of Chicago classics. You've got Luke's Hot Dogs right here. And then Giordano's, and Giordano's has a bit of a line right now. So if you can bear with me for just a couple more blocks, we've got the Sears Tower here. We'll cross the river. We'll look in the Union Station just to see if there's anybody there. And if not, we'll head back to the organization and frustrate the Scientologists on their own home ground. Folks, I'm very happy if we can stay adult in the room. If not, I'm okay that we don't have a full room all the time. If you want to be here, be here. If you don't, please don't. But please don't harass others. So we're walking past the Sears Tower, or it's got a new name, but I think it's going to get renamed again. That Willis is about to give up the naming rights. These lower two levels here open to the public, and it's kind of a food cafeteria. Okay, once we get behind this building, we'll see the river, and then we'll be at Union Station. Sorry, trying to get out of the traffic. Folks, it's a beautiful clear day here. It is very, very warm. If you're out and about in Chicago, make sure you've got some liquids. And I'm told water is one of those really good liquids to have. So here we've got the Chicago River. We are just south of the intersection of the North and South Branch. You can see, maybe you can see the Boeing building up there. This is a no-wake zone. That's why you're seeing the people kind of travel moderately in regards to speed. So we're going into Union Station real quick. We'll just take a quick lap to see if there's anybody in there or in the Grand Hall. Folks, you might lose me for a bit. Sometimes the cellular service doesn't come in, but I will be back. Hey, Larry D.
Please, Amtrak announces the 15 boarding of train 7, 27 Empire Building. If you're ticket for this train, please receive a check number 19.
So that, you just heard an announcement for the Amtrak Empire Builder. The Empire Builder is the train that'll take you from here out to Seattle. So typically, if you're going to cross the country on train, you're going to leave from New York or Boston, and then that'll be on the Lakeshore train. And when you get to Chicago, you'll transfer over to the Empire Builder. Now, the vast majority of these trains here are regional. So you're just going to be going to local neighborhoods, local suburbs. Sorry. Yeah, Seattle from Chicago, it's quite a trip. Someday, like when I retire and I've got nothing to do, I would love to take that kind of trip on a train. You can see there's an awful lot of construction going on down here. Something that I hate that you can't see is, right, so here's the map of the railway system. You can't see the western states here, but here you can see the lakeshore is coming, these two red lines following the southern shore of the lake. And now we'll walk through the Great Hall. Very common to see Amish in here. The Amish are allowed to ride the rails, but they have to avoid a lot of other modern amenities. It's very nice and cool in here. Kind of give you a quick scan of the area. We've got an Amish couple here sitting at the edge of the trail. All right, we'll head out and we're going to head right back to the org now. We're about 3 or 4 blocks away. All right, why can't I see Wesley right now? I don't see Wesley, so I don't know if one of the mods solved that problem. Here, we're just getting another perspective of the Grand Hall, or the Great Hall. Now, it is very possible that Scientology just took advantage of another festival. Because remember, Chicago is massive. You're 14 miles north to south and about 8 to 10 miles east to west, depending on where you're at. And there are festivals all over the city, and they might have just taken advantage of someplace else today. It definitely felt like when I got to the org, since there was the additional table out front, that there would have been an expectation of more people in there. Yeah, folks, also, don't put it only on the mods. And again, the mods are trying to be as fair as possible. They can't see everything. But anytime you want to, if you want to block somebody, just tap on their name and block them. And you won't have to worry about them in this channel or any other channel. It also gives you the advantage that they can't see you. So a couple of interesting buildings here. So this is the old post office. This used to be where all of the mail that came to Chicago would go through, and it was mostly bulk mail that would come through here. So you'd see crates and boxes that would be moved around from one dock to another dock. And now that's been redone, and it's just beautiful inside. If you watch me on Windy Wanders, they've got a beautiful rooftop garden. It's the largest urban rooftop garden in the world, and by square footage. It also has a bee's nest, a beehive. It's got a beehive up there, basketball courts, pickleball courts. A lot of people do corporate events and weddings in there. If we look over this direction, you can see the tallest building in that, where you can still see the top of it. Just in front of it, you see that mirrored building. That mirrored building is Imprint. So we're heading over to Imprint from here right now. Get back over to Scientology. Here you can see an architectural tour, followed by 2 little personal watercraft. This building is interesting. That little gray spot in the middle, or gray bar in the middle, is the river itself. And the red mark on there is this building's place on the river. Yeah, and we've been very fortunate that for the most part, we have adults in this room, and it's not something that we've really had to worry about, but there have been a few that come in and insist upon making it a bad experience for others. And that, I want to be as generous as possible to allow somebody to make a mistake or two, but eventually it makes it a bad experience for others, and just can't tolerate that. Now we're on, so you're going to notice that I know a few tips and tricks to kind of get through this neighborhood by crossing some streets, diagonals, so on and so forth. Always a good idea, sure. Now you're seeing the breadth of that old post office that we talked about before, and that garden that I spoke about, it takes up the entire rooftop space. So you can tell that it's basically 2.5 blocks long, or north to south, and a block wide. And that entire space up there is green space. There's a little walking path that gets around there. There's a couple of restrooms up there. You'll often see me coming from this direction because I've got a lot of clients that work in these buildings over here. Whether it be the Sears Tower or the post office, right? We've got Uber and Walgreens in there. Morgan Stanley over in the Sears Tower. Chicago Trading in this 311. So most of my clients are down in this area, and that's what gives me the ability to spend an hour or so at lunchtime on a daily basis. And while I can't really publish a schedule because I never know what my meeting schedule is going to be like, it usually is that I like to try and go out in that 12:40 time frame. 12:40 allows us the idea of being able to interact with many staff members as they're returning to the org from their lunch. And then for the next 40 minutes, they'll be sending body routers out. And we get to engage with them to try to make it an unpleasant experience for them to be able to hand off their flyers. A lot of times I'll walk underneath here, but today I want to go past the LaSalle Street station. Again, as I've mentioned, there's a lot of people coming in from the suburbs for Lollapalooza. So maybe that's a place where they're trying to stake out some ground and pass out flyers. Sorry that we haven't been able to engage many Scientologists. We had, the start of the show was fairly significant. We were able to bring the shades down very quickly, and there were 3 younger folk sitting across the street having lunch, and they called me over, and they were amazed that, they'd been there for an hour or so, and it's like, oh, those shades have been open all day. All of a sudden, you show up, and they pull the blinds down like nothing. Yeah, if you go over to Windy Wanders the City, I think that it's called something like Old Post Office Garden or something like that. And it is beautiful up there. It's also a lot of prairie, it's not necessarily flower beds, it's more wildflower and prairie grasses that are up there. So it's a lot of things that would have been indigenous to this area, but naturally growing 13 floors above the street level. And if you don't like walking tours, you should go over to Windy Wanders the City and just out of spite, subscribe. It'll really annoy them.
What Chicago Stock Exchange is at? Pretty much.
Yep. So she had just mentioned that this is Chicago Stock Exchange, and it is. And the stock exchange goes over the Congress Expressway, or Ida B. Wells, and that's one of the ways that we can get over that busy street without having to wait at a corner and stop. Yeah, I was to say, just put your Fitbit on top of the phone whenever you're watching Windy Wanders the City. And one of the things that I take advantage of here is that there's a train station up here, and this platform is basically over the street. So I can just walk at my own pace, get up the escalator, walk through the train platform, and come down on the Scientology side of the street. So Snapface, I'm Garmin as well. I guess that I always feel that Fitbit is the one that people use for their steps, but yeah. Let's see what we've got today. Oh, you can't see it. It's in the dark. Oh, since it's in the dark, I probably did 100,000 steps today. And no, I didn't. Let me see if I can hit the light on it real quick. Yeah, we're only sitting at about 24,000 steps. So this is interesting. I don't know if you're really seeing this, but all of the platforms are blocked off right now. So Union Station must be the only one delivering people to downtown today. Oh, Mary, I definitely hope your ankle gets better soon. Howdy. All right, we're 2 blocks away from frustrating Scientology. This I've always found a neat little restaurant that they took the train car, turned it into an Italian restaurant there. There's another diner, more diner looking. That's like a white tablecloth Italian restaurant. Up on Chicago Street, there's another one, but it's more like a diner. And if you were with us in Minnesota, it would have been reminiscent of that. And then I talked about in Boston, right outside of South Station, there's the South Station Diner, which is inside the shell of an old train car. Right now we're gonna yeah, isn't it a pain in the butt when your watch is telling you what to do? I'm going to go ahead and try and cross the street here real quick. I've got a controllable light here. Yeah, well, I know that in the 10K, they scored a medal yesterday. What was the medal that they got today that broke the 28-year drought? Snotface, one of the things that I think is the funniest in the world is I'll be on an escalator and my stairs for the day, right? Because it's measuring altitude. And on the escalator, it thinks I'm the one that's causing myself to go up. But I love when I get my flights for the day in while I'm riding an escalator. Howdy the journey. Folks, when I was a wee lad, I loved track. Track was my sport. I was very good at football. My mom thought I was fragile. She wouldn't let me play. So I ended up falling into track. Loved it. Basically, 406 miler, which, by the way, the number of 406 milers versus the number of 4 flat milers is a billion. There's a lot of people that are run fast enough to run 406, but that elusive 4 flat, that's a tough 6 seconds to get. All right, we're back to the alley behind the org. I'll say it's interesting, not to profile, but he doesn't really look like who we normally see in Scientology. But let's see if he wants to stay out here in the alley or if he's gonna. Oh, he's past Scientology, so he's. Yeah, I don't think that he's standing right outside the back of the Scientology. Oh, no, he is. We'll see. And we'll do a quick dumpster check real quick. Remembering that trashy V12 BMW, he was able to dumpster dive here a couple of months ago. got an awful lot of juicy documents out of there. And then 10 days after he did the dumpster diving, he was on Aaron's show. And then 10 days after that, Scientology finally went out and bought a chain. How you doing? So here we're seeing the back doors of Scientology. The dumpster does have the chain on top right now. You know, Trashy hasn't been on. I'll email him every once in a while. He was never one to really respond to email. And you know what? I haven't poked in on his channel either. I think that he's been doing, so right, we see the chain here. That's keeping people from going in there. And if I look in, I can just see broken down cardboard. So it doesn't look like there's anything in there. And by the way, I'm not the guy that's going to go dumpster diving for you. One of the things that I really miss about Trashy was that his demeanor was very kind, and he got so many people to talk to him. He got way more people to talk to him than I do. I'm trying to develop that skill more. But I used to love that Trashy would get the publics to talk to him. He'd get the Scientologists to talk to him. It was just, we missed that, or I missed that. Patrick, this particular alley empties on Fridays. Chicago empties the trash every day of the week, well, 6 days a week. It just depends on what your neighborhood is doing. And then also to kind of keep in mind here is that these aren't city-owned garbage cans. They're owned by a disposal company, and Scientology rents it. So when Scientology, they might have a schedule that says come every Thursday or come every Friday, but it also might be I'll call you when I need you to pick it up. As we look forward here, we've got Clark Street, and we will walk up the street back to Scientology. Not seeing anybody on the other side of the street. I think we see somebody again sitting down on the stoop outside of Scientology. Oh no, that looks like that's Paisans. We've got more, I can see Indigo, I see Juanita, I see Corn. I see that we're going to get a little bit of music from Paisan, so I'm going to talk a little bit so that we don't do any copyright strikes or anybody trying to talk about music. And as long as I talk over it, we'll be in good shape. So we're in good shape.
We had some good connections.
Excellent.
A guy came up and offered us free dinner.
Nice.
I don't know if you want to come with us later.
Very nice.
But he was like, oh yeah, this is a cult. Come to my restaurant in Lincoln Park. Dinner on me. And we were like, okay, sure.
Very nice. Very nice. Do you know who it was?
He owns Modi.
Okay, I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice.
And we talked to a couple of Irishmen who live next door for like 15 minutes, telling them all about the cult, and they took cards and everything.
Very nice.
They're going to check out SQTV, so.
Love it.
Caught some people who also already watched Leah's documentary, and we were like, oh, you should check out SQTV, like, so.
That is awesome. I love it.
A lot of action from Lala already.
No doubt, yes. No doubt at all.
Wonderful alien.
I do see that. This is something I always think is funny, that Scientology takes great pride in that if they're going to do something, they want to do it right.
Did you
Yes?
hear our offer for free lunch?
I did hear that.
And they're looking up the menu and they say it looks so good.
Nice. I think that,
She said that L would be even faster, and that's only
Yeah.
like a $2.50 or $3 ride.
Yep.
Yeah.
For $5 I can get back.
Yeah. Well, no, it depends on how long. If you do it within 3 hours, it's the same trip.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, it is.
Or it's $25 transfer,
It's
but
like
or
$2.
25-cent transfer. Sorry.
Yeah, I think during time stuff, especially because of Lala, they
Yeah.
probably are discounting rides between. Because I know they do that for the work week, is they discount. So like if I take an L to a bus to an L, they don't charge me for the transfer.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got some people came by to take pictures for a meme. They're like, we're here for the meme, and we're like, okay, good, because it's a cult. And they're
Nice.
like, no, we know.
Good. That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, Patrick, you're right. I should have mentioned SRA as well. That Trashy was the first guy that was out here in Chicago, but SRA would come out all the time too. So now, and they kind of came. So we were out and back. I think he's fine. I think he just likes doing the car shows, and I'm not sure if he was like, I don't need all the BS that kind of goes on.
In the background.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm just making sure because I noticed that some people weren't in chats that were normally. So I was
Yeah.
Hey, Friendiversary, March 3rd, 2025 at Nancy's house.
Nice.
Yeah, because we were just talking about, they were just telling more people about how they'll try to like rope you into lawsuits and do all this other stuff.
No, that's awesome. And it's that easy to talk to people, right? And people are curious. Like, except for that couple that came out here right just before I left.
What's so bad about it?
Yes.
I was like, I cannot. My brain broke for a tiny second. I did some Chit-chat.
Nice. Oh,
But you gotta be nice.
let's see what Indigo got for us. Nice. Kids can't consent, and they are not adults. Very nice. And we've got their garden going.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of dogs watering.
Nice.
I talked to a girl who was like, well, I let my dog do whatever he wants over here because they're a cult. And I was like, rock on.
Nice. I love that. So let your dog do whatever they want to here because they're.
I love your
Look at you. How are you doing?
I got some more stuff on my plate, personal stuff, and then that's why I wasn't around here. I wanted to come so bad,
No problem. No problem.
but in 2 years I'm gonna be retiring, so you're gonna be.
You'll
my
have a new
life.
project. You'll have a new
You're gonna have
project.
my life.
That is awesome. So that's Juanita letting us know. And again, everybody that if you can only come out once a year, come out once a year. It's
Yeah.
fine. Do what you can.
Oh no, definitely,
Yeah.
because I really want to stay for the long run.
Yep.
Until I see this either rejuvenate area for something good or close forever.
Correct.
Either or.
Yes.
Because I don't wish bad stuff. I just wish that the bad stuff that they're doing right now disappear.
Correct. Yeah. Again.
And that's my personal goal.
Yeah. You wanna listen to you or learn your philosophy. That's fine.
Exactly.
You want to keep abusing children. You want to keep on trafficking humans. Yeah, I'm not okay with
I'm not
that.
part of it. Yeah.
So, I don't know if you heard, but there was a couple that came in earlier, and so what's wrong with the cult? Was their statement. And then I said to him, well, they also human traffic and they abuse children. He goes, well, I have children. And I said, I'm not saying that you abuse children. I'm saying they abuse children. And it's okay if as long as it's not your children that aren't being abused, it's okay. Is that what we're saying here? I don't understand what you're trying to tell me, sir. So.
Oh, come on.
No.
Come on. You don't have to have a doctorate to.
Correct.
It's like I don't have to be a pedo to know that that's wrong.
Absolutely correct.
But I'm gonna start doing my channel completely Spanish.
All Spanish?
But I heard you guys something that you mentioned. I think it was in Natalie.
Yeah.
And I said, oh yeah, he just said I'm gonna be doing some stuff in my computer to put it in letter, like a little presentation. I'm gonna do back and forth. When I cannot come in here, I'm gonna start trying, but I want to have information, written information that people can go and search.
Correct.
I don't want to say this and this and that.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much.
And I'll have to
Yes.
put it in your.
Yeah. Oh. Here, let me do it.
Check it
Do me a
out.
favor.
That's yours, hon.
Oh, okay, thanks.
See that?
Yes, yes.
That's for you. Okay.
I love that. Here, can you hold this and I'll
Yes.
dump it in
You
there.
know what we call this in my country?
You
With
want to
my
hold
other
both?
hand.
Yep. There we
In
go.
my other country.
Yeah.
We call it vergüenza.
Here, you want
Vergüenza is
this
like
to wrap
chain.
Awesome.
What
Like
is it called?
vergüenza would be when you have chain shame. When you have shame, that's what we call this.
Shame?
When you have.
Oh.
I don't know what is the term in English.
Remorse,
you have
shame.
What is the opposite
regret?
of you don't have shame?
Oh.
The opposite.
Innocent? Well,
Actually, no regrets. A clear
Maybe-
consciousness.
So like that, but vergüenza for it when you had that.
Yeah.
so this one's for you, hon.
Oh.
And here, this
Who
will
bought
help.
these?
Lavender Bridges. It says it on the top of it.
Okay. So
She has her own bees.
Okay.
And she sent this all the way from her home. It's her own honey. And it's so good. My jars are
No, I know because I got a friend that he used to in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. So this is, I had it at
Thank
home.
you so much. If you didn't like, thank you so much.
Yes, and I have some for Nance and some for Freezing
Nice.
So I gotta bring, but at least I only had to bring 2 jars at a time.
I need to talk to him. I haven't. I feel like I haven't seen him for a couple of weeks.
He did get COVID pretty bad.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then he, just a lot of things with like, because he does things to help his parents out.
Right.
So I think it's just been busy. I told him I was going live today. He was out doing some furniture shopping, mattress shopping. So yeah, just
Got it.
sounds like busy because honestly, we haven't talked as much as we usually would, but you know, things fluctuate.
Life happens at summertime.
People
I
get
saw everybody
busy.
at the concert.
Yes.
Well, I assume there was a lot of people at the concert. Were you here last night or not? So Nance was at music,
No.
some form of music. Looked like it almost looked like an outdoor stage.
Because it's going on again.
Yeah,
over
but
on the other
I don't
side
think you
of
could have broadcast. I'll bet you'd get in trouble if you tried to broadcast
Yeah.
from inside there. So,
Yeah.
and I walked all the way around Lolla. I saw nobody. So I don't know if there's just nobody out body routing or if they're just not in this area.
Yeah.
But
So I want to go get a drink, but I don't think I can fit in the store. Do you think I should try?
oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, do you want to walk with me to see if I fit in the urban pantry to buy a drink and see how that goes?
Yeah.
Juanita, would you like your... Oh my gosh, look! From my Tony's celebration. Oh my gosh. Oh, look here.
You've heard
Here's what I'm
Nora.
gonna
You've heard Nora talk very highly of you. You've heard Natalie talk very highly of you. They really you were very
There.
nice to them at the.
It adds to my outfit. It adds
I
to my
didn't hear
outfit.
it, but wow.
So just
I
in
don't
case you
expect
haven't, in
that.
case you haven't,
No,
they speak very highly of
Oh
you.
wow. I don't do stuff to be recognized. Not my thing. I'm glad that I'm able to bless other people.
I'm gonna go up a little bit, just to keep these people off the phone. Hi. Oh, we're gonna get a little bit of. I've been going through, I've kind of been cataloging all of my past videos because we've been out here for 6 months now, right? So February or March. And I think the first we met was Natalie, so March 9th would have been the first time we met. And it's just fun seeing, like the first time seeing Natalie. Korn and I met up at the other one.
Oh really? Oh wow.
There.
I've been here since March. That I came to for the. I used to watch you guys in the regular when you
Right.
when you guys were over there, and then when you guys said it's opening here, so no, I cannot miss that because I was thinking too much to go the other one, but I didn't have the chance because I heard you guys say, oh, on the 3rd they opening in Chicago. I said what?
Yeah.
So I came on the 3rd, and since then I've been here when I came.
Yeah, so something that, so Patrick's talking about, similar to the woman who was ignoring the RAPE setup, that those 2 people were, again, who cares about a cult, right? What's wrong with the cult? The other thing that we've seen here, and I think we would have seen it on Monday, it might have been the Wednesday highlight, and I sent clips to Natalie. There was a young lady, an African-American woman who came out of Scientology, and I said, are you okay that women can't report crimes against them?
I saw that one. That was.
And it's like, she doesn't care. It's like,
I know.
what?
But that's also that you had that in video. You're like,
Right.
okay, guys, come on, I got to sit here.
This is for you. Okay. Don't let people see it until she's in it.
So we've got some costuming coming up. And if you remember, if you ever go back to the wedding day, so the Sakela wedding, There was a woman that was here, and I said, do you know that women can't report crimes against them when it's committed by somebody at this church? And her answer was, yes. Oh, by the way, that's Patrick. I don't think it matters this late in the video. And also, use grape if you need to, or SA. That's better or safer, more comfortable to everybody. But on the day of the Joe Scala wedding, a woman said, oh, as a matter of fact, I do know. I'm like, then what in the heck are you doing in this building today? You can't be okay with the idea that women can't report crimes. Well, I'm just here for the wedding, right? Well, the wedding is for the person that runs this organization. So, yeah, you are here supporting that. I love this sign. Oh, I got to keep the camera away from there real quick. We've got a costume change going on. Oh, I feel so poorly for the puppy over there. So in Chicago, you'll see these in a few places. It's a little coin-operated dog laundry. So you get a little hose and some soap, and it'll give you that. And folks, again, that I just think that there's some people that are so ignorant or oblivious to the actions that they take, and actions have consequences, right? It's not okay that you think it's acceptable that women can't report abuses against them. You don't get to hide behind, well, I'm only here for the wedding. Well, there are plenty of people that are doing terrible things, and you don't get to say, well, it wasn't me. I just gave the guy the money to buy the gun, right? I didn't use the gun or the bang bang. And again, I hope that we're far enough in. I'm gonna show my barcode to the cameras real quick. Again, right, I've got the cards here. Letting some civilians come through real quick. But just to let on the back side of this, right, so I'm showing OSA the card so that they can use the scan code right there in the heart of Hollywood. Okay. Did you plan the colors as well?
No, I just saw a squirrel and then an alien.
It's going with, look at her shirt and the pants.
Your shirt and pants match. Yeah, I know. Okay, why don't you reach to ourselves?
So we're protesting the cult of Scientology.
I love it. That's perfect for Juanita.
Oh my God! Okay, little ice skating squirrel.
All right, let me get her a sign.
So Juanita, just luck of the draw, picked the right t-shirt today.
Yeah, girl, you got that sweater. Girl, I want you to bring that squirrel sweater.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Juanita's making sure that she's able to be seen by the camera upstairs, right? Here, let me see.
Squirrels are here.
Here, Juanita, let me see if I can get a low enough angle. Juanita, can you come a little bit closer? So I've got the sign in the background.
Oh.
And then turn sideways. Turn sideways. Yep. That is awesome. All right, folks, we're going to take a lap around back real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I think that's a riot. I love that we've got the squirrel in front of the Scientology sign. And she looks, again, because she's wearing a blue shirt and then the costume has the blue pants, that just looks awesome. J Bat with all the emojis. Oh, you know what? I've told you that I've been cataloging the videos. I found the first character unlock of Chadwick Burke. It was earlier than I thought. It was on March 11th, which was only the third day that I was here. He came out to help get somebody out of an Uber vehicle. So an Uber driver showed up, and the person in the car seemed to have a handicap or a disability that would not allow them to get to the front door. So Chadwick Burke came out to help them, and that was my character unlock of Chadwick Burke. And for those of you not aware, Chadwick Burke is the Scientology staff member who claims he was assaulted by breast. So Boobology is Chadwick Burke. And again, I feel poorly for him because we haven't seen him since, so he's likely gotten in trouble because of what happened that day. And that the Nance and her partner said that he looked horrible when they were in court on the second appearance. So I can only go off of their description, but what a shame. And again, you know, I think that he was a jerk and very deceptive, but he's being penalized by the church/cult that he stood up for. I wonder if I can wear the squirrel suit and still wear my backpack. Because I would love to chase the body routers all around town in the squirrel outfit. Lavender, hello. I just received a jar of honey. And I have your note, but I want to open up your note in privacy. So when I get home this evening, I'll open that up. Folks, welcome Lavender Bridges. She was very generous, and she sent all of the Chicago protesters a jar of honey from, and I'm going to say that they're not her bees, it's her beehive. The bees get to come and go.
You gotta have a
I have
message.
a question.
You can't just be a
You
squirrel.
know, when I saw a couple people, the lady, what is her name? She was an actress, Christy.
Partiality.
Christy.
Yeah.
When the transgender in that show asked to explain what is Scientology, she said, read the book.
Yes, read the book.
But I've been thinking, if the person doesn't know how to read?
You guys be standing
That's a good
between
point.
each other.
You're right. That if you can't read, you can't
So
be
how that person going to know about Scientology?
correct.
Guys, just look for at the camera because you can use it for your thumbnail.
Yes. Wait, doggies first. Oh, look at the dogs. Oh my gosh. They're so beautiful. I love them. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Brought me some twine. And we're gonna back away. Oh my gosh. Did you see the short that Helly made of me? Oops, sorry guys, that was my whole ass face. Of me in the Kenny costume in front of Battle Creek. And
Yes.
I dropped my sign and I was trying to pick it up. Oh my God. She's like, you almost got it. Come on.
Where are you getting all of these costumes? Is it just a party
Kenny
store?
I already had.
Okay.
Amazon,
Okay.
honestly.
Yeah,
Kenny I
you
had
can buy
'cause-
anything in there.
to be honest, whenever COVID hit, I wanted to get a Cartman one, and I was going to walk around with a stick and say 6 feet, 6 feet. I couldn't find Cartman, so I found Kenny, and then for like 3 years, my husband and I have been Kenny and Bigfoot.
For
Yes, a Bigfoot
that's your holiday.
costume,
Okay.
yeah. So it's quite the pair, Kenny and Bigfoot. But then I thought, well, he would work for this, but then that inspired me to look for more outfits. There's another one that has, it makes it look like you are being captured by an alien. So if I came running around the corner,
Right.
I have my legs hanging out,
Nice.
looking like I got captured.
Run away! Run away!
So that's another fun one.
Nice.
Can't pull up the timestamp. Huh. I'm not sure how all that stuff works. I just loaded it from StreamYard, so.
Sorry, kind of keep my eye on the people that are walking by.
Wait, are you gonna get one?
Oh, I think so.
I think you should.
Yeah, send me the other one. Send me the one that you don't have.
Yes, that would
So.
be great for you to wear.
This one, I really want to chase the routers around in that.
Yes, you want to be the squirrel.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I got a discount for buying two.
Yeah.
So some kind of sale if I bought two, but it's just
Nice.
Amazon.
Okay.
You'd be amazed what you find when you search.
Yeah.
I do.
When I get my printer, I want to develop one of the car
Yeah.
because I want to put, remember the wizard that I gave you guys?
Yes.
I want to put one in each one with it say, you know you could blow, okay? 'Cause you know how
Ah,
that-
nice. Are you okay that women can't report sexual abuse against them in this cult?
So I've been thinking of that,
Yeah.
200,
Do you? I can give you the print file of this as well.
okay?
So I'll share that with you via
Okay.
email. I'll send you
Okay.
the email on it.
Okay, great.
And again, that
Oh, I
this
see.
side you can do whatever you want to, but on the other side, it's basically that's Tori's
Okay,
side.
but this is great.
And on this side, if you scan that code, you go to the blog post of all those places.
Perfect. Thank you.
So how's day one so far?
Good. Well, this is the second time I've been
Okay.
out, but like this is my first time actually talking to people.
Nice.
Yeah.
So did she tell you she went in?
Yeah.
She went inside.
When?
11 this morning. So I went in at Squirrel Beach, but I left the phone number for the FBI Chicago office. We'll see if it would take that bait.
Yep.
Wow, okay.
I don't know how much they call, but I figured, I might as well try before they get me on camera with you guys to see what I can get.
Personality test.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I was like, should I try to 5-finger discount a couple
Is that like
days?
Mindy's?
Huh?
So I know Mindy's got the personality. Mindy had the personality, a different one, right?
Oh, you could have told me I would have bring the can.
Theater.net.
Yeah.
I got the can.
You make chocolates and oh, the answers are on the back.
This is awesome.
Look at the answers are here. So it's supposed to say no to the first one. Hang on, I'm probably going to say yes.
Let's see.
Do you make
Yeah. Do you make thoughtless remarks or accusations which later you regret?
Hell yeah.
You have a reactive mind.
I say shit all the time.
You got a reactive mind.
I love my rap.
Do you remain fairly
Hello.
Do you browse through rail rate timetables, directories,
Yep.
or dictionaries just for pleasure?
No.
Here come our friends back, right? Back here for Scientology, that they're okay with child abuse. Yeah, that one's always locked, sorry. If you're not against human trafficking, you're for it, so.
Did you know they told someone their dad was dead, but he wasn't dead?
That was me.
Yeah, yeah. This is funny, this is funny, yeah. If anybody knows how to do facial recognition, I would love if we could do that. Correct, yep.
He said I right?
No, he's the one that said, hey, I'm the one that was dead. And so he just likes to joke about it. He just thinks it's funny to joke about it, right? The idea that people have been victimized. I really wish, I wish that I knew people that knew facial recognition.
You know, justice for God's parents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, we wrote that one day. Free Senior Project and I, one of our first visits out here. This was empty. And so we wrote, this is a plot for flowers, not a 6-foot scare plot,
Yeah.
something like that. And then we put love and despair. Just, you know.
Yeah, you might have a little bit of a fight over here.
I did a Golden Ribbon project as well, but I'd love to do it again because I wrote messages on the Gold Ribbon. We went to the park and I tied them on the trees over there. So I put different messages on it. It was gone the next morning.
Yep, J-Bat's got it for you.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
But I filmed it.
Yeah,
I
nothing will
sent it
survive
in.
overnight, but yeah.
But anybody who sees it, plus
Yep.
the point
Oh, it's
was,
very valuable.
the
Very
Golden
valuable.
Ribbon project, to my understanding, was kind of like a
Block this one?
support group system thing within our community to
Oh,
show
that's cute.
the survivors that were putting up the golden ribbons. And then somebody probably watched me in the park that day, you know,
Yep.
and whoever took them down had to see them.
Yeah. And it could have been it could have been a good Samaritan from the neighborhood just
Probably.
saw something, but you're right. It's gonna be
But
hard.
that might get their curiosity.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
If each act that we do gets even one person curious, because we've handed out cards today.
100%.
Yes. Because I know- Are you going to jump on yours?
No, because
Okay, that's all right.
So, folks, just in case you didn't hear earlier, right? Juanita's channel is all Spanish, and she's going to continue to keep it all Spanish. And she's going to try and figure out if she can do translations of typical L. Ron Hubbard doctrine, so that she can share that out as well. Wow, what's that crowd doing down there? So we've got. This might be like, I wonder if this is like move-in week for Columbia.
Maybe it's a little early for the next year's school, isn't it? It's just, maybe they start end of August?
Yeah, they might do trimesters too. So there's all
Oh,
kinds of
that's
schools
true.
do interesting elements there.
I bet they're like going through the back door because we're so scary.
They might.
We're so mean.
Now, I honestly don't think that they are Scientologists. I think they're curious to go in, and we kind of gave them some curiosity to go in. Because if he was a Scientologist, he wouldn't be allowed to joke about that stuff, right? That he would not be able to even acknowledge that process. So I think that they are curious, and then we piqued his interest to go in. Now, I could be, by the way, I'm wrong on half of my guesses, so.
But you never know what level they're at.
Right.
Does your church let you talk about the church?
Isn't that strange? You can't talk about your own church?
Your family?
So it's coming up on 3:45. Yes.
I ate like a breakfast and lunch before I met with you guys, and now I'm hungry.
I'll say this, I'm gonna get some food too soon. Got a couple people coming down the street, just want to keep them out of the camera. So.
I let my cat ASAP at night.
So this fella just came out.
Yes.
It took me forever to get it on recording though. I get tremendous sometimes.
Are you okay that women can't report crimes against them in this church? If a woman is abused by someone in this church, they can't call the police. That's okay? So now we're seeing somebody that, right, again, the inability for a woman to report abuses against them, absolutely okay. Right. Sad that he looks to identify as male. He's no man to me. Now, it's very possible he is NOI, but he probably is taking some of the pre-clear courses that would also be involved. Yeah, very likely, Mike. Folks, if you're not, please do subscribe to Auditing Scientology down in Kansas City.
So who closed the door today? Who made them close the door today?
I was, yeah.
You was?
Yeah.
Oh.
That was Lindy.
So it was fun that when I came here, they closed the windows, they closed the door really fast, and there were 2 people or 3 people eating lunch over here, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, what happened?" And they called me over. They said, "That window's been open all day. You came, and immediately they closed the window."
Oh my goodness. That is the power. There are
Yep. SPs have all the power.
yeah, exactly.
You're so scary. We might like listen
There's the
to you,
superpower.
help you, and like help you realize you're in a cult. So
Absolutely.
Scary. We might show you compassion and give you resources to have a real life.
Yeah, that's the part that I wish that they would understand.
I can't get rid of my BTs, guys.
I saw it. Cool. Cool and cute.
I love your dress. It's really cute.
Wow.
So have you seen the young guy that was the one that usually used to put the plank down on the door, the very young guy? I was trying to get his face because to me he all the time was avoiding the camera,
Yeah.
and to me feel like he might have some family outside, and he didn't want to be seen.
That's I did get good pictures today, but I do have, like I said, I'm going to, by month, I'm going to show all of the new people that we saw in here.
Great, that's what I would like to. Yeah.
Now,
to see
again, because I usually have it on a wide angle, they're not
Right.
great pictures of the faces, but I'm sure that somebody's going to be able to recognize who
Okay.
they are.
But that's what I was trying to do every time to come. Because I know that, not the first time, but the second time when he went, I think he's trying to avoid to be seen.
Yeah.
So then that was my mission to make sure to get some glimpse on here. And I think I did one time, and I think it's funny, it's a family of this young guy is out here. I want to let you know that it's here in Chicago.
Yeah. Yeah. Yesterday,
Because he wasn't Brazilian, he was some type of Latino.
okay.
Because I know that they got a couple Brazilian in here.
And that I know that each of those has a distinct language, but is it a dialect of Spanish that they can all probably kind of understand one another? Oh, I guess Portuguese is different
Portuguese. Yeah, just some word
Yeah.
sound like it, but no, I mean, some other doesn't. It's like the Italian.
than,
Even though you don't know Italian, the Latino might be able to kind of
yeah, right.
get some percent.
Howdy, Adam. And you're right, yeah, those clothes looked a little bit too street to be NOI.
Shano, make sure I let Paul know about that.
It really does. I'm going to tell you that it really does bother me. Like I'm gobsmacked when the reaction to, "Are you okay that women can't report crimes or can't call the police if they're abused by somebody in this church?" Oh, Nation of Islam is NOI. And so in the past 15 years or so, how you doing? There's been an influx of Nation of Islam and Scientology getting closer together, which doesn't make sense. They're two communities that should disdain one another. Got a Thetan coming down the street.
She's so adorable.
Alien meets squirrel.
I should have asked.
No, I'm going to say that. So I probably have to head out.
Okay.
So you guys feel okay?
Yeah, I
All
think
right.
so.
Cool.
She
All
has
right.
her phone if she needs to go
Yeah,
live.
exactly.
Nice.
I got,
Cool. All right.
And so you're not going to go to the food with us?
No.
I think we'll probably.
I might.
do.
Give me a call. I'll see what Mrs. has planned.
Yeah,
we'll go
we'll
from
take
there.
a break here soon, and I mean that sounds amazing.
Yep.
And then I can
Agreed.
always come back for an evening
Yes.
closing of the blinds.
Nice.
And yeah, but a break with your meal sounds good.
Excellent. All right.
what time do you tell you don't have 9 to do?
9
So they say 9 o'clock, right? Wait, no, is it 10 o'clock? They say 6 p.m., but we know that they
They're always
yeah.
later.
So by 6, it's
Juanita.
if you're not a Scientologist, you can't walk in.
Did you know?
Right. Now they'll still take anybody at any time. All right.
Of course, especially here in Chicago, that they're looking at a lot of stuff.
Yep.
I think we should take a walk around the block,
All right.
but we'd have to drag our bag. I mean, I can drag my bag.
Yeah.
We could
All
walk
right.
to the park and then take a break from there, but take a walk
Cool.
around the block first, maybe even the alley.
All right. I'm going to take
Go
off.
down the alley today? I'm sorry.
I did go down the alley.
Okay.
So, and the dumpster is locked today.
Okay.
So we've got that going. But
Well, just so you know, if you happen to walk this way to Target and then towards Grant Park, you might see stickers.
Nice.
Just magically on posts.
Awesome.
You know.
Love it.
And I have a bunch from Pup Groomer to share. So
Cool.
if you ever want some
I appreciate that.
cards or stickers,
Nice.
she sent me a big package of them.
Awesome. We'll definitely take advantage of that. All
But
right.
anyway, we'll let you know about the food.
You know you could be free, right?
That's the second time I've seen bicycle go in there. All right, Indigo, thank you so much for coming out. I'm going to take off.
Oh, okay.
And I think, you guys are going to kind of go grab, you're going to take a halftime?
Yeah, I think we're going to take a walk through the alley and then to our park, and then we can stop and we'll figure out how long it would take to get there.
Yep.
We can let Wendy know, and then we can come back on later and close the blinds for
All right.
us.
Cool.
Yeah, sounds good. We can
All
get
right.
blind tech again.
Oh, sorry.
Have a great day, y'all.
Thank you so much for coming out.
Oh yeah, it was great meeting you.
Love seeing you as well. See you, Juanita. Bye, Corn.
Bye.
All right. All right, folks. We're going to head away a little bit, and then we'll close down the stream. If you get a chance to, I would say we can probably raid Corn, but I think they're going to shut down. So I think that Corn's going to shut down shortly. So if we can find somebody else to maybe spread some love to. And by the way, love Corn. I just don't want to send everybody over there and then have them shut that. We'll miss a hop. So if there's somebody out there on the sptv.space, and remember, don't use it just for figuring out who's live, figuring out for resources, right? What can you do? Maybe you can't be out in front of an door, but can you write a letter? Can you phone somebody? Can you send an email? So this person, I will say, so he is Scientology. That he did everything he could to lower his hat away from me when we were walking out. So my bet is he's going to walk into Scientology very quickly. Yeah, you're right, Adam. That Elijah Muhammad just rolling in his grave, right? In that space. And the same thing that L. Ron Hubbard, because L. Ron Hubbard thought as low of black people as the Elijah would have thought about white people. And I'm not saying Scientology is a white organization, but it's got a decidedly noticeable presence. Look, he's got his hand over his hat again. Yeah, he is 100% going to go into Scientology. He's ashamed, right, of being a Scientologist. He did walk by. Maybe he's just ashamed of cameras. He's on the FBI list. All right, folks. Excellent. We've got Feral Cheryl, folks. Let's head over to Feral Cheryl. I think that she's still out in California visiting. A couple of days ago, she was out with Tori. You head over there. I will meet you in a few minutes. Folks, I really appreciate everybody being here. If you've stayed to the end, God bless you. Please make sure you're liking, sharing, subscribing. Hit the bell. Be notified whenever I do go live. Those weekday lives kind of happen whenever they happen. I have to take advantage of the opportunity when I can take advantage of the opportunity. But I'm going to head up, grab a train, and head home. J-Bet, thanks for being in here today. Everybody, thanks for watching. Have a lovely day. Thank you.